Kia ora folk and welcome. Thanks for listening in. It's Bridgitt here with Naturopathy, Bridgitt with Naturopathy, with Radio Kidnappers. And today I'm going to talk to you about stress or busyness and how that affects our body and the symptoms of it, what we can do to help address those stress or busyness symptoms, and of course the tip of the day. So I'm a registered and professionally qualified naturopath and a medical herbalist, and I have a natural health clinic called Maintaining Your Health in Napier, and there I provide natural health solutions to help you balance whatever's going on in your body, physical or emotional. So my goal in clinic is to empower you, to help you, give you suggestions, give you naturopathic advice, whether it be herbal medicine, whether it be vitamins and minerals, whether it be food, because I'm a qualified nutritionist, and so whether it be herbal tea. So we can choose many paths depending on how fast you want a resolution or how gentle and slow you want to move along. Anything's possible. All options are open. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about stress. And when I talk about stress to my clients, they look at me a bit weird, like they go, "Oh, I'm not stressed." And I go, "Okay, how's your busyness?" Busyness, because we're all busy. We're all busy. So I want to talk about how humans, us as a human race, have evolved over the years, and we've evolved technology in our communities. We're a busy, rushing species. So we've got this new evolved technology to enhance our lives, to do tasks better. We've got computers, we've got cell phones, new TVs, how we drive our cars. So we're quite an advanced society. But somehow, somewhere along the line, that extra time that got freed up, got gobbled up. Where did it go? So we spent that extra time on being more activities, more busy, more travelling, more. And where does that leave us? We can become super duper busy with life, work, relationship, rush the kids, rush the dog. We're just rushing. We are rushing evolved species now. Where does that leave us? We start to feel a little bit stressed. Stressed we do. Deep down inside ourselves and our bodies, if we stop and listen, we really know that something's not quite right inside. And our bodies start giving us little alarm signals or subtle little hints that we're stressed. And so today, further on, you're going to hear about more maybe new words, different hormones I'm going to talk about, and different systems of the bodies. So let me know if that's words you've never heard, and if you want to have a chat to me about it, I offer a free minute chat on the phone to see if I can help you find a solution. So who are we going to call? What are we going to do when we're feeling these little alarm signals because of our busyness? Not Ghostbusters, I tell you. We are so well trained in today's society, and it's really acceptable to knock back a hit of caffeine from a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a green tea, an energy drink in the morning or throughout the day to keep us going. Look, I had a coffee this morning at home, and if I go and have a meeting in town with a business colleague, I go to the cafe and have a flat white with one sugar. Yeah, I'm open to a flat white with one sugar if you want to make that for me. But that keeps us going, we feel, to achieve our goals throughout the day, because we rush to pick the kids up, we take them to the sports, we take them to aftercare, then we go and do the grocery shopping, and we're just rushing, continuously rushing. Do you know that caffeine, Ken, did you know that caffeine is a drug?
I make cups of coffee a day.
Well, there you go. You didn't hear Ken. So caffeine is classed as a drug. Yep, we're all drinking an acceptable drug in New Zealand and worldwide. Coffee tastes so nice though, doesn't it? So it's classed as a drug, coffee, caffeine, because it's a stimulant of the central nervous system, which helps to create this alertness in the mind and body. Who knew, right? Who knew that? But it tastes so nice. So what does stress or busyness look like in the body or for us? So a few symptoms are we might become irritated or easily angered, and we flip out quickly like that for little situations. Have you ever stopped to look at the faces of folks that you've just flipped out on? They are flabbergasted. They don't know what's happened to them, and they look at you like, who are you? What's this? Why are you so angry at me? We may become crazy road ragers, and look out if you don't signal when you come off that roundabout. We can also go the opposite way. So we can become tearful and weepy and cry at the drop of a hat. Any little thing, any little sad thing, or watching a movie on TV, we start crying. I liken this anger or weepiness or tearfulness to letting the pressure off the steamer, off the cooker, the pressure cooker. There's healthy anger and not so healthy anger. So when we get a little bit angry, it's great. We're like, get out there, we chop that wood, do the housework, clean up, whiz around. But when it's not healthy anger, that's not okay. So we can do things to help ourselves before it gets to not healthy anger. Okay, we can either become exhausted, fatigued, dog-tired, we just can't move, or an ever-ready bunny popping along and talking 100 miles an hour. Da, 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 da. Maybe we have gained weight slowly or put it on quickly. And maybe we can't even gain weight. It just doesn't want to sit there. For some, that's a blessing, but for some, they need weight. Now we forget to eat when we're rushing and busy, and then we get hangry. Have you heard of that word, hangry? So that's like a combination of really hungry and then it makes you angry. It's when your blood sugars drop if you haven't eaten for maybe a good 3 or 4 hours or even more, because we're just too busy and we just want to finish this last project before we stop. The best advice for you is if you're around hangry people, get out of their way. Just move aside. Because when hangry people are hangry, they just need to eat. And they need to eat right now. At this point, they don't care what it is, what food it is, what it looks like, what it tastes like. They just want to scoff it down fast. Sometimes they get indigestion in a sore tummy. And some folk have been known to vomit from eating fast like that because they're hangry. And then maybe 10 or 15 minutes later, they get this huge wave of tiredness that sweeps over them. And they just want to lie down and just have this gorgeous sleep. Well, guess what? Your day's not over yet. You have to get back to the office. You have to get up and carry on again. So what do? Have another cup of coffee. Have another cup of tea. And by this time, you may be up to 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes we get surges of energy early in the morning. Sometimes we experience panic attacks and anxiety in the morning, and then it goes about 10 o'clock. And some people get a bit confused about that and go, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Sometimes we get energy slumps at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we busy humans, we grab whatever we can put into our mouths to boost us back up again. Chocolate comes to mind. A lot of people eat chocolate at 3 o'clock. Whittakers, good old Whittakers. I like Whittakers. But if you're eating a lot of chocolate at 3 o'clock, You might want to ask yourself, why am I needing chocolate? Did you know that chocolate contains caffeine, dairy, wheat, sugar? Many folk don't realise that, but it is yummy. It is yummy. Then we get home after a hard day at work at the office, and remember, a house executive has just an important job keeping the home fires burning as an office job. So we get home and we might have a glass or two of wine or 3 or 4 bottles of beer just to unwind from the day. Again, alcohol is another accepted drug in today's society. Nothing wrong with occasionally having a drink of alcohol. However, if you're frequently using alcohol to wind yourself down from a busy day or busyness, I say let's look at something different. Let's look at supporting your adrenals to help you support your stress response. Okay, so how are you doing so far? That's not too busy for you. All right, so we're going to talk about all the stress and busyness. Rushing all around. You got this high amount of caffeine in your body, maybe alcohol, poor food choices, processed food, sugary foods. Add to that maybe a really vigorous exercise regime, and you have a lovely formula for adrenal fatigue. I'll say that again, adrenal fatigue. Some folk come to me and they say, I have to exercise, I have to go to the gym, I know it helps me. And I say, sure, that's fantastic, you're doing some exercise. However, hard out continuous exercise every day stresses your adrenals. So I suggest 1 day on, 1 day off. Do something gentle in the middle day. Adrenal fatigue, it all contributes. So what are these adrenals? So there's these little glands, little glands that just sit above the kidneys. And when you're in overdrive, just like a car that gets stuck in first gear, like that, well, that's what's happening to your adrenals. Eventually, the car engine or the human body or the adrenals will start to wear down and get tired, and your hormones get out of balance, or they fluctuate up and down, up and down. So that's when I see a lot of clients in clinic with hormone imbalance, which affects their thyroid, their sex hormones, maybe their blood sugars, maybe it affects how their bowels work as well. It affects the whole system. And that's with the stress or busyness. So where do I see it? Okay, so let's talk about kiddies, children. Children, I see them constantly being rushed. Get up, eat your breakfast, get in the car, go to school. And then they get to school, the teachers, come on, gotta learn this. And then playtime comes, eat your lunch. But these kids are just being so pushed, so rushed. Oh, they want to have some time out for themselves as well, so they don't eat. Off they go. They've only got a little bit of time for themselves, so they rush off. And I see their little adrenals pumped continuously. And what do these little kiddies, what do these children do? They can't have a cup of coffee. They can't have a wine or a beer. Sometimes they have a fizzy, and sometimes I see kids walking down the street with these energy drinks like Mothers and V's, which have a high amount of caffeine in them, and guarana and ginseng, which is pretty powerful for a little tiny body to handle. So what do these kiddies do? Their next drug of choice? Sugar. Give me sugar. Sugar's going to keep me going. And then they get overloaded with the sugar, so it affects their focus in class, it affects their behaviour, their concentration. And then they get maybe hangry again, or they get weepy. Then they're told to behave and go and sit in the naughty corner. How's that? If we just encourage our children with healthy foods, maybe drink some water, and maybe choose better food choices, this may help them a little bit more. Now, I see for women of menstruating age, so menstruating is when you are having your period, I see problems of hormone imbalance with the periods. Do you know it's not normal to have a painful period? A lot of women don't. They think that's their lot, but it's not. And it's not normal to have painful cramps, heavy bleeding, not normal, and heavy bleeding for more than 7 days. That's just not normal. Or to get PMS symptoms, so that's premenstrual syndrome symptoms. Maybe they're experiencing conditions like infertility or miscarriage, endometriosis, fibroid, PCOS, that's polycystic ovary syndrome. Again, or maybe weight gain, or moods, depression, anxiety. All of this can be linked back to a hormone imbalance, and I guarantee you that adrenal fatigue is in there somewhere. So adrenal fatigue affects the sex hormones: estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, androgens. It's all there. Stick with me, folks. I'll tell you a little bit at the end of the show how to fix this up. So also, I see a lot of women in the menopausal phase of their life, and I see they haven't quite slowed down either. Maybe they're retired, but they're still doing lots of things to fill their days up. And I see them having hot flushes, night sweats, insomnia, low libido. Now, libido is a flash word for your sex drive is low. Maybe their hair's dry, their skin's dry. Maybe they put on weight. Again, the adrenals are underneath that. Stress is the underlying cause of many out of balance issues in the body. So when I look at these women who come to me in the menopausal phase, I see their thyroid might be affected, or their liver, or their gut function, and adrenal hormones kind of like cortisol and melatonin. Melatonin goes down. And then they might go to the doctor and get a melatonin medication. But hey, guess what? Let's just fix your adrenals. Let's help your body cope with the stress. Now for men, let's not forget men. I see men in clinic as well. It's not only about women and children. Men are being brought up. It's this culture, man up. I see them push themselves to the limit. I've got brothers who are, I see this, and men folk in my life, and they push themselves to the limit. They're never stopping. And they never give up because they are brought up to be the provider. Carry on, soldier on, like that, soldier on, like that song on TV, soldier on. So these men are continuously striving and pushing themselves. When they get sick, they don't stay home, do they? It's not until they get really sick. They're like a big oak tree that crashes over. And when they do crash, that's when they go down hard for a long time. So their adrenals are pumping. And maybe this affects their sleep, their libido as well, their sex drive. Their testosterone hormone level goes down. And the prostate does get affected too from hormone imbalance. They might put on weight as well. They might eat more or drink more to compensate for this stress or busyness. Maybe an effect from the stress and busyness is heart attack, stroke, sleep apnea. I tell you, stress is underlying, and when you think that you're not stressed, you come to me for a hormone imbalance, I'm going to tell you you're stressed. Or people don't like that word, so I say busyness, but really, hey, you are stressed. Okay, so how can we fix this up? How can I help you as a natural holistic naturopath? Well, I look at all your symptoms. We take a detailed first appointment client history. And then I come up with a well-being plan for you that deals with many areas of your life. We look at your nutrition, and I give you suggestions to eat that encourage your adrenal health, good healthy suggestions. I might suggest some supplements as well if I think you're really depleted. And most people who come to me are really depleted. So I would say to you, first of all, reduce your caffeine if you can. Caffeine's a diuretic, and it also dehydrates you because it makes you wee a lot. So if you can swap out a couple of coffees of caffeine and maybe a peppy herbal tea, you might see a little bit of a change. Increase your water. Water's great for flushing the body, making you think clearer, keeping your blood thin. Not tea and coffee, that doesn't count as water, sorry folks. Take a high quality practitioner vitamin B complex, because this will help your adrenals deal with the stress, give you an energy, a natural energy hit as well. Come and get a herbal remedy mix from me, and I'll mix that specifically for you with some lovely adaptogen herbs that are specific for adrenals. I'd definitely check all your contraindications against medications, and things like withania, lavender, rhodiola, goticola, schisandra. I'd look at all those lovely herbs for you. And then I might add into some lovely nervines into that mix, like we've talked about lavender, maybe lemon balm, maybe St. John's wort, maybe chamomile, maybe green oats, maybe nettle or tilia. I'd also encourage you to have a healthy, small, healthy snack in between your main meals. That keeps your blood sugars level, all right? Something like raw nuts and seeds, unsalted, not peanuts and not cashews, all right? Yeah, they're yummy, but yeah, nah, don't do that. Okay, so the tip of the day is stop and do one thing just for you. Go for a walk. Get outside, breathe this air. We're quite lucky in New Zealand to have reasonably fresh air to breathe. Have a small healthy snack and a huge drink of water, and you'll be surprised at how big a difference that little thing makes for you. So if you'd like more help on balancing your adrenals and dealing with your busyness, you can phone me on 027 284 3781 or contact me on Facebook page or my web page maintainingyourhealth.co.nz. Kia ora folk, have a good day and don't get too busy, don't get too stressed. I'm here to help you.